February 18, 2001, Foxstone Park, Virginia. A well-dressed man places a small plastic bag under a wooden footbridge. Minutes later, he's surrounded by armed agents. He's not a terrorist. Not a foreign agent. He's one of their own. An FBI agent, and possibly the most damaging spy in American history. Robert Philip Hanssen was no ordinary FBI agent. Born in 1944 in Chicago, he grew up in a strict household under the rule of a cold, often abusive father. He graduated with a degree in chemistry, later earned an MBA, and joined the FBI in 1976. Colleagues described him as intense, introverted, and deeply religious, a devout Catholic who attended Mass daily. By all appearances, Hanssen was a patriot. A loving father. A man of faith. But behind the steely eyes was a dangerous secret. In 1979, just 3 years into his FBI career, Hanssen made contact with the Soviet GRU. He offered his services as a mole, in exchange for money and diamonds. He was cautious. He never revealed his real name to the Russians, using aliases like Ramon Garcia. He communicated through encrypted messages and dead drops, prearranged hiding places where he left classified documents in exchange for cash. Over the years, Hanssen passed thousands of classified pages, compromising dozens of operations. He exposed double agents. Revealed surveillance tunnels. He even handed over the identities of Russian spies working for the U.S., some of whom were executed. What made Hanssen unique was not just what he gave away, but how long he got away with it. He would stop for years at a time, only to start again. In 1981, he was caught by his wife reviewing top-secret documents at home. He confessed to a priest and promised never to do it again. The FBI never found out. In reality, he resumed spying just a few years later. By the late 80s and into the 90s, he had returned to his double life, this time targeting the newly formed Russian Federation after the fall of the USSR. So why did he do it? Money was certainly a factor. He received over $600,000 in cash, plus diamonds and a foreign bank account holding promises of more. But according to psychiatrist Dr. David Charney, who spent hours interviewing Hanssen after his arrest, money wasn't the whole story. He wasn't in it for greed. It was about ego. Power. Feeling smarter than everyone else. Hanssen felt overlooked at the FBI. Passed over for promotions. He believed he was intellectually superior, and wanted to prove it. By the late 1990s, the FBI knew it had a mole, but couldn't identify who. The leaks were too damaging. The betrayal, too deep. In 2000, they launched Operation Grade A top-secret mission to catch the insider. They tracked a former KGB file that identified Ramon Garcia, and eventually, all signs pointed to one man, Robert Hanssen. They assigned a young tech assistant, Eric O'Neill, to shadow him. O'Neill secretly copied Hanssen's PDA, which held damning evidence. On February 18, 2001, after 22 years of deception, the trap was sprung. Hanssen was arrested at the dead drop site. His first words were simple: "What took you so long?" He later pleaded guilty to 15 counts of espionage, avoiding the death penalty in exchange for full cooperation. He was sentenced to life in prison, without parole, at the ADX Florence Supermax facility in Colorado. The damage he caused was staggering. Millions of dollars. Years of counterintelligence work compromised. Lives lost. Robert Hanssen remained in prison until his death in 2023, found unresponsive in his cell, at the age of 79. For over 2 decades, a man sworn to protect America betrayed it from the inside. A reminder that the greatest threats aren't always across borders, sometimes, they're sitting at the desk next to you.